Welcome to the MailleWerX Chainmail Livestream. My name's Sean. I run MailleWerX.com. Just checking. We have sound? Yeah, we have sound. What we don't have is music. Get some music going, preferably something not sleepy. Alright. Come on. Right. Back, yeah, there we go. Okay. So Frank froze last night, and it's like right at the end of the stream. I don't know how long he was frozen. We'll see how we go tonight. Right. What am I doing here? Share, write post, write something. Restarting this coif. Alright. Let's just turn Frank on and get started. Uh-oh, don't do that. Alright. This is the fun part where we get to redo everything we've already done. Okay, so here's what we're redoing. We get to redo all of this. Why? Because if I use this as the top part of the coif and then add these rings in here, there's going to be a contraction like all the way around that closes it up tighter than what I want, right? But if we remake all of this with these smaller rings and then add these larger rings down towards the mantle, we should be good to go. It'll be an expansion outwards instead of a contraction inwards, and that'll be out here closer to my shoulders instead of like right here on my head. So I know what you're thinking. Why would you do all that work? Well, because I gambled and figured that the Ring Lord would probably have 18 gauge 730 seconds that were truer to size. Just adding a row of one ring into one ring, then do 4 and 1 from there should avoid that reduction. I don't see how. Adding a row. Alright, hang on a sec. So why am I redoing it? Because I bought all these rings for this coif, and by golly, we're gonna make a damn coif. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so just adding a row of one ring into one ring. You mean okay, so like a row of Trinity, basically. You could do that. Yeah, I mean, it's just for a costume piece, but whatever. Don't worry, I'll just remake everything, it's fine. Alright. Is this the way to do it? I don't know. But yeah, you could do a row of one ring into one ring. How we essentially seamed up the juggling balls. Come here, you. It's fine. It didn't take very long to make that initial piece. The longest part about that was messing around with the seams. Taking those apart and redoing them. Everything else is just 4 and 1. Alright, so how are you, John? Hi, Liz. Elizabeth, I don't know if you like to be called Liz. Elizabeth's one of those easy names that gets picked on by kids in school, so I don't want to traumatize you any further if that happened to you. All right. So, how was everyone's day today? I went to work, and I've gotten the notice that within a week we are probably going to be expected to have the first injection. So I probably have a week left of work, if that. So that was nice to find out today. It gave me somewhat of a timeline before I got to go find something else to do. And I have some PTO that should hold me out for a little while, and hopefully I did not need to add this ring. Hopefully some of my disability will kick in the next little bit. And could I chainmail for a living? Yeah, probably. I'm not opposed to that, but right now is not a good time for me to start up a chainmail career. Could I? Yes. Do I particularly want to? No. I already do it as a side hustle, so. Hey Barb, how you doing? Working on your 16K shirt, trying to figure out joining under the arm so you can still take it off the shirt once it's closed up. Yeah. My goal right now, well, okay, so we'll get to what I'm gonna do about this situation later. So I got home from work and I was finally able to get a hold of my dad, which if you weren't on stream last night, I was having to stop, talking to you guys and then text some family members who were taking care of my dad right now, because he's just been super sick, right? And he's mostly dehydrated and tired at this point, so he's doing okay. He was up out of bed in his chair, says he just feels exhausted, but he thinks it's the sickest he's ever been. I believe it. So, but he didn't sound like he needed to go to the hospital. His vital signs were okay, and so I was quite relieved once I finally got a hold of him, because normally I call him, he picks up right away, and this time he wasn't answering, and family members were answering his phone, and I was like, what's going on? Yesterday I was ready to get home from work when I found out what was going on and pack up some stuff and then drive out to Idaho. So my family members did a very good job of taking care of him. But it took a little bit for me to get the answers to my questions. It's like, do I need to go out there? I don't know. They don't know. They couldn't tell me yay or nay. But once they got walked through how to take a look at him, I was fairly sure he was going to be all right. So I got to talk to him today. And then I ate some lunch and passed out on the couch, because I was woken up at 1:30 last night by a 7-year-old lovingly staring at me while I sleep and then jumping on top of me. It will forever be creepy when you wake up and your kid's standing next to your bed staring at you. That's always fun.
I didn't write this one. He wrote this one. I don't understand.
So that, and I have a tremendous amount of knee pain going on right now. Even just sitting here not doing anything with them. And it's been going on for about a week now. So I started looking up like how to exercise your knee for knee pain. I started doing that, and I'm going to focus on that the next couple days and stop trying to push my knees, because I'm 99% certain nothing's torn. It's just a soft tissue swelling that doesn't want to go away. So some exercises should help get some blood flow in there, some ice and some heat, and hopefully I will be on the mend here in the next couple of days. But I had the hardest time using the stairs to get down to the basement to get down here tonight, so. And then other than that, pretty uneventful day. I feel one of my patients, his insurance changed, and he's got Epsom salt baths. Yeah, I need to definitely include those in my therapy. But my patient's insurance changed, and it only covers 50% of home health, so I don't think I'm going to be able to continue to see him, because I don't think he can afford that, which kind of sucks because he needs care, and it's I don't know. I think it's a garbage situation. I don't know what happened with his insurance, but like, he still needs someone to come visit him, and now he can't get that. So I got to get him on the phone and figure out what's going on, because I don't think I'll be seeing him anymore, unfortunately, and he needs to be made aware. What are we making? All right, so I ordered a bunch of rings from the Ring Lord. These 18 gauge 7/32 rings. And we're redoing this piece right here. This coif we got started working on. Redoing this, and we're gonna remake this out of these smaller rings that are newer from the Ring Lord. These are also from the Ring Lord, but they're about a decade old. And we're gonna take this apart and attach it to where the mantle should go. So, good work. Could I call the insurance, let them know you think he needs it? Though, if his doctor doesn't, might help. The insurance has been called. The doctor has been called. The last remaining person to be notified is the patient. So there's not much more patient advocating I can do. Which, you know, if someone needs home health, their insurance should cover it. You know, they're sick, they're not bringing in an income, and he's retired, but still, you know, you need home health, and you can't get better without home health. What is the point of insurance if they don't pay for it, you know? But I never understood. It's like, how are you gonna deny somebody treatment for something? It's like, what do they pay you for, you know? But, you know, that's right in line with the whole medical field being a giant scam from top to bottom, so that's why I'm okay with what's gonna happen this next week when I no longer work for my current employer. I have decided to renew my nursing license in February. I wasn't sure if I was going to. But I will, in case, you know, all this nonsense changes, which I think it will. I'm kind of hoping that sometime in the next week, before anything goes down, another court case comes up. So we'll see what happens. but I'm not holding my breath, and so I'm just gonna get ready to jump ship and move on. And my boss already knows, because we had this out in November when this first became an issue. She called me up and was like, "Are you gonna go get it? Because you don't have much time." And I was like, no, I'm not. And she didn't ask me why. She said, "Okay, I understand." Didn't harangue me about it. She just wanted to know for staffing purposes, so. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I have had many jobs, and each one has been better than the last. This job has been one of the best jobs I've ever had. Second only to working at Wendy's when I was in high school, because I had a really awesome boss at that Wendy's. His name was Rich. Really funny guy. Group homes for medically fragile might be a good fit if it is an option. He's actually living with family, and he doesn't want to go to a group home. That would be his best bet. I've got a couple patients that would really do well in a group home. They don't want to. They don't want to, and they have no concept of how the quality of their lives can improve. You know, doesn't matter. I swear, it doesn't matter how you explain it. Everyone that I've ever tried to convince to go to a group home, it's like, no, it's the same thing as a nursing home. They'll kill me. It's like, it's not, but you know, I've never been able to convince anyone that it's not. Brother's awesome, but lives in a home due to epilepsy. Yeah. See, and I've got a guy with a cognitive disorder that would do very well. Very nice guy, but he's independent enough that he was never placed, and then I started working with him, and he refuses to go too. So it is what it is, you know. I understand the concern. At the same time, having an older parent at home is stressful. For the caregivers, it very much can be. Yep. So, last night and yesterday I was thinking about carpentry as an option. But that I'm not like, I'm okay at carpentry. I can make stuff, but I don't know if I'm good enough to start a business out of it, you know what I mean? I suppose you got to start somewhere, and I have most of the tools already. Got epilepsy? It's not fun. I can't even imagine it's not being fun. I've had some family members who've had it. Just seems awful, and everybody's so tired after they have a seizure. Your whole body just gets racked with energy and seizes up, and oh. But no, sell some chainmail, get some disability money, couple other, have like a daytime gig. I need something that allows me to take my son to school, and so that I don't have to be there wherever I'm working before 8:30. Right. And then I have to be able to go pick my son up at 3:30. So those are my only conditions on what I go and do. Everything is on the table outside of that. Carpentry sounds like it would be fun if you could make it work. It would be. I'm very interested in learning how to be a better carpenter. And just, I enjoy making stuff with my hands. I just know there's a lot of stuff I don't know about carpentry, but if I could do that as a day job. Problem is, it's winter time. I don't really have a place to get started. I'm not going to go renting out a shop right now. I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but I'll add it to. I will start on it and start adding it to my repertoire of things that I make and sell. Right? That's my goal anyway. You love your wood lathe, you still need to make a skid for your table saw to make things easier on me? Yeah, me too. Need to learn it. Need to make a skid, and then need to learn how to make jigs and a lot of stuff. You get a planer and a joiner, nail gun, a couple other things. I have like the bulk of the tools I would need to get started, so that's one I'm interested in, and two, I have a bunch of the tools for it already because I have attempted carpentry in the past, so little wood lathe would be a ton of fun. Bookshelves is indoors. What area do you live? I live in Wisconsin, southeastern Wisconsin. So like in the summertime I can get set up outside, you know, set up a, what do you call it? What do you call it? You know, one of those, a canopy. Thank you. French cleat wall openers are great to offer folks, yeah. I'm gonna make a French cleat for a firearm display case that my former father-in-law bought my kid. When my son was born, his grandpa bought him a Henry repeating rifle that's essentially been in a box upstairs because my kid's not old enough to.
Don't be afraid.
I could take him to the range now, but
chord progressions.
I just got him a BB gun for Christmas, so that's kind of his first exposure to firearms.
Just snatch them all up.
Keeps him coming back for more draws and things to hang off of it. A French cleat is a method of attaching stuff to a wall, essentially. How to explain it? You'd have to Google it, really. It's just a method of
That's one of the reasons
hanging things
stuff out is because
from display cases to picture frames. That's not good.
we're borrowing something that I heard.
Can't use that ring, can I? Yeah. You follow directions on your kids' play equipment. It was a blast, but once again, too cold for now. Yeah.
And I used to, because I thought it was not original, not creative. But I quickly found out that I am not original or creative. I can't make up a new thing.
I don't know. I'm not real concerned about it. I can put more time into MailleWerX.com. I can finally finish the app for MailleWerX.com. Maybe offer that as a service to other
So
businesses.
once you get over that, sounding good is easy.
The flat horizontal slat. Okay.
Basically, let's just copy it and just do a little change
Um,
thing and pretend, like it's yours.
I can start doing
No one will know.
more stuff for my house. And using that. That's my goal. But first, my knees have to heal because they're killing me right now.
Generation now can see
So
everything
that's step one. get my knees working again, and then get back to working out daily.
Obviously, chords and melodies, there's only so many different things you can do.
Yeah, you don't want to push it.
It's a flat horizontal slat wall with min profile when all things are not on it, but as changeable as a pegboard with draws and other such things to the wall and move about as desired. As good a description as any.
And also be respectful, like leave them like a little note saying thank you.
So, but right now, my garage is full of vehicles. I'm not gonna have any space in there to do anything, but I will figure it out. If that's the route. Well, no, that will be one of the things I start doing, because that is one of the things I planned on doing anyway. Just gotta turn it into a way to bring in enough money to support myself, you know. Since I can't, so I'm no longer able to rely on my college degree. Gotta figure out something else, and who knows? I had a friend who had a college degree in history, and actually, you know, it's not a bad idea. I might give him a call. So he's got a a college degree in history, right? And he was doing some IT work for a company for a long time on, I know he's really into search engine optimization. I know he knows a lot about that, right? But then he decided one day he didn't want to do that anymore, so he started making cedar planter boxes. What are you doing, kid? Okay. It is 9:10. I don't care. But upstairs now. Alright, you were getting a full-scale metal lathe drop in your garage this weekend? Nice. I'm a bit jealous. I am. So... sell chainmail, sell stuff on MailleWerX.com, build stuff for sale, maybe call my buddy up who makes cedar planter boxes, and start distributing them here in Wisconsin. And I don't know what else. So I think the electrician's apprenticeship is, I should still probably go and apply for it, right? Even though they're not doing interviews until June, it'd be a nice skill to have. And it's a 5-year apprenticeship, so like that's gonna be some dedicated time if I get into that, right? But I'd rather have something where I work with my hands and it's me showing up to work, doing the work, and then getting paid. None of this rigmarole bullshit of, oh, you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to do the job that you've been doing for the last 17 years, because now all of a sudden we say so, right? Greenhouses for the cedar boxes? Yeah, there you go. So once you, and then here's another fun one. This is my favorite. This is the number one thing I hate about insurance, is that it's tied to your employment, right? And we just had an insurance change, so I lost my doctor that I'd been going to for, I don't know, last 2 or 3 years I was up here. So I got a new doctor finally. He's 45 minutes away. But I got to see him a few times, got some stuff taken care of, and then now I'm gonna lose my insurance again. So that's gonna be fun, being not insured until I can afford insurance from or self-employed, or if I end up working somewhere. It's always a joy. Employment being tied to insurance is, it's a crock of shit, is what it is. Or insurance being tied to employment. So, gonna be a fun next couple of couple of weeks. So, it's going to take what it will take me to get through it is a lot of what do you call it? A lot of self-motivation. I keep myself busy doing productive things, I'll be fine. But I won't be able to see a doctor. But, and here's the, I think, okay, so my dad is a disabled vet, and he can go be seen at the VA hospital in his area. So I think that once I have my disability rating, I too can also go be seen, even for things that aren't related to my disability. So I might be covered there. I don't know. Health and wellness centers here are income based. They have a lot more people to work through, but they have worked well for us when tight. Where are you based out of? Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do insurance. I would rather have a doctor that just takes cash, and doesn't accept Medicare or Medicaid. There are doctors out there like that. They run a cash-only business. But I have never found any here in Wisconsin, so. No taxes for vets. Your brother's actually looking at moving back just for that. Yeah, if I get 100% disability, which I do expect to get within the next year or so, then I won't have any property taxes here in the state of Wisconsin. So that will ease up my financial burden tremendously. But I don't want to be stuck trying to live off disability, right? Like, I want to have gainful employment of some kind. So we'll see. I don't know how it all works, but I'll get it figured out. And then I'll make some more chainmail. Figure if I can get my kid to school by 8:30 and be down here by 9 and work from 9 to 3 on stuff here, I can start generating my own income streams from my computer. So we'll start there. All right, Barb, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I had to move the camera a little bit because I could barely see the comments. Yeah, I think these rings are definitely going to get tossed back into the tumbler once we have them all together for a few days. There's not really any burrs on them, just some edges that need to be roughed down. Maybe maybe want to break a few coffee cups and get some ceramic chunks in there to polish them all up. We'll see. Okay, is the worst for Oklahoma's worst education economy? It's not great here. Yeah. Well, neither of those things are too great nationwide right now. To try something. I'm gonna try and put my feet up and see if that like takes the weight off my knees. Okay, I have a stabilizing beam across the back of, oh, that's so much better, across the back of the desk here. And I've got a pool noodle over the top of it, so I can just put my legs up there. Because having them bent sitting in this chair is just awful. Okay, I will compare this to the other piece here in a second. The number of rows won't be the same, but we can make it the same size as the original triangles we were working on. That's a good place to start. Try and figure out what size this actually needs to be, because we've already figured that out, kind of. Right, so or say there's probably, oh crap, a few more rows, keep this going. I do have a commission I took for one of my bracelets. I do need to do that, probably do that sometime this week. I don't see the person for another week and a half, but it's just sharp. In fact, I don't even want to use that ring. That's atrocious. Yeah, Wisconsin schools are not much better. I think like there's still a fight going on as to whether or not schools in Milwaukee are going to open up, or whether or not kids are going to go to virtual classes, you know. And it's all these teachers that they haven't wanted to do anything since all of this stuff started. It's like everywhere else is open. Everyone else is going back to work. There wasn't a point in time in which I wasn't working during this whole thing. Okay? I never got sent home. I was never non-essential, right? Which is a bullshit term. If you have a job where somebody pays you and you use it to feed your family, you're essential. Your job is essential, right? That whole non-essential crap pissed me off. A bunch of stuff pissed me off about this whole thing. So, anyway. I was never not working during this whole thing. Uh-oh. Lost a ring. Hit the ground. Alright, it's gone. I'll find it later with a vacuum. Anyway. The schools in my area routinely churn out morons. I've got a school nearby me, and the high school, these bright kids walk out into the middle of traffic every day. I have almost hit more than one every year, because they like to go dodging out from cars that are stopped into a lane that has cars, you know, has oncoming traffic in it. I mean, they're just not the brightest bunch of kids. So there's a reason why I don't send my son to any of these schools in the area. I had a girl. She jumped out from a stopped vehicle into my lane of traffic, and I slammed on the brakes, and she smacked my truck, ran right into it. She was very lucky that she didn't get run over. I mean, it pissed me off so much. I was like, you know what? Next time. Never mind. I'm not going to say that out loud. That implies intent. You're homeschooling at this point. I don't blame you. Right? Fortunately, we have a very, very good private religious school that we send our son to. So we pay for him to go there. It's worth it to me to not have to send him to one of the local schools. But if we didn't have that, we would try and find a way to homeschool. So one thing about these rings, right? Like, some of them they're not like burrs, they're just kind of sharp edges, right? These rings are from the Ring Lord. They're machine cut. Like, I knew what I was buying. I'm wondering, right, is some ceramic in the tumbler with this piece, once it's done, gonna cut it, you know? And it feels kind of like trying to polish a turd. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. But we're getting rid of rings, and it's a costume piece. It doesn't really matter, right? But, you know, someone's gonna be sitting at the bar, and they're gonna wanna try it on or something, and I want them to be nice enough for them to slip it on over their head and look, wear a little chainmail for a minute, you know. So I'll give it a shot. We'll see. couple nights finishing off some triangles. We'll probably work on the inlay some more tomorrow night. Only Tuesday. We got a lot of time left in the week to get stuff done. I didn't necessarily want to start this project over, but I'm thinking it's going to be for the best in the long run. Oh, so I had a thought when you said you were homeschooling. Are you homeschooling because your kid was taking like virtual classes and it wasn't doing them any good? Or do you traditionally homeschool as a general rule? First time homeschooling? Okay. Right on. I do have some stuff on the way. All right, I gotta take my legs back down. Oh, okay. Oh. See if I can do this. There. Feels a little better. I did buy a craft mat, so we're gonna have a craft mat under this here pretty soon, so that'll be nice. Hopefully people will be able to see what I'm working on a little bit better. Haven't gotten around to lights or cameras yet. I'm thinking once I figure out what is going to happen employment-wise over the next couple of weeks, then I will find a camera. Because also, if I'm not going to a day job, I can stream during the day now too. Fever first weekend back, virtual school's horrible. They wouldn't let us return till January, but by then your daughter didn't want to return. I don't blame her. Don't blame her. Like let's see here. There is, I forget the freaking name of the website. The mat will help rings not get lost when dropped? Yeah, hopefully. Right now they have a tendency to go spinning off to the end of forever. So when we were looking at schools and deciding on how we were going to educate Colton, the homeschooling was looked at, and I was looking into 2 homeschooling platforms, and one of them was it's the Ron Paul Institute homeschooling system, right? Whatever they have it called, but it's from it's developed by Ron Paul and his team, and it's free up into high school. So one of my friends helped develop some courses for it. And I cannot remember the name of the other one, but it's like $180 a year or $190 a year, as opposed to, you know, the thousands in tax dollars I pay for public school system around here. Like, I get quite upset when I discuss taxes regarding like my property taxes specifically, just because the area I live in likes to raise the value of our home and then charge us more taxes, but does almost nothing for the infrastructure of the area, right? Like, of the infrastructure projects that we have going on right now, they're not funded by the county I live in, where I pay property taxes to, or the city, rather, where I pay property taxes to. There's federal funding and state funding for it, right? So, like, there's a ton of infrastructure projects that could be done, but they don't. So they want to build a civic center in where an old factory used to be, and that's what they refurbished an old building, and they were gonna move in they refurbished this building, spent millions, and they were gonna move the, what do you call it, like city council, city hall into that building, and then they decided that they didn't want to move. They'd rather rent out the building. Free is good, but you were desperate for something already planned. It's run for sunlight. We love the history portion. As long as you're happy with what you have, you know, good. Good. I just know that there were two I looked into heavily that I was happy with and gonna move forward with if necessary. I want it. All right. So no civic. No, they're gonna build the civic center. Yeah. But they did not move into this old refurbished building. They're gonna rent it out, and okay. Doesn't I don't see how that helps me, you know. I've got potholes bigger than my truck on the road outside of my neighborhood. I would really like to have those fixed, you know. Just, yeah, call me picky, but some water. Yeah, they're gonna build some kind of civic center. There was a Chrysler manufacturer here in town, closed down many years ago, and someone came in and cleaned up all the dirt, because I guess there was a lot of chemical fluids that had seeped into the ground from the factory, you know, oil and hydraulic fluid, or not, yeah, hydraulic fluid and stuff, fluids to run the factory, and for any fluid you'd find in a car, like brake fluid and windshield wiper fluid, you know, stuff like that. So a company came in and cleaned up all the dirt, and so it can be built on. And I guess that's where they're gonna be building this civic center to help the local population of I don't know what to call them. It's being built to help the group of people that burned the town down 2 years ago. That's who it's for, and I don't get it. Just seems like a waste. Alright, we're getting close to being done with this pile of rings, and I don't want to push too much past an hour tonight. What do we got? 20 minutes? 20 minutes till 10? We can go more. Trying to think of what else is going on. Not much. My kid's been, today is his 4th day off from school, and there's nothing to do outside. It's too cold to go outside. And so he's just been cooped up for 4 days. He did get to go do some stuff over the weekend, but like yesterday and today we were mostly inside. So while it sounds terrible, they burned the town down. Yeah, I live in Kenosha, where we had riots here 2 years ago over a police shooting. Is it help the minority or impoverished kind of thing? Yeah, it is. And it's like we already have these things. It's just a place to centralize it all. So the assistance that we already have doesn't get used much. I don't see the point in a multi-million-dollar civic center to try and solve a problem for people who aren't going to participate. Let me put it that way. What do I know? Maybe they'll surprise me. I'm not going to hold my breath. Yeah. A bunch of people came in from out of state. There's a bunch of people from Kenosha. A bunch of people from Chicago, Milwaukee. And the surrounding areas that came in. And rioted for like 3 nights before the National Guard was finally called in. And once the National Guard got here, everything calmed down. But I had caravans of cars going down my street, all with their license plates blacked out or removed. It was like, and I worked downtown where these riots were going on at the time, so I had to be bussed in. That was not a fun job. I was working at the jail. Not a fun job. I don't care for it. Wouldn't do it again. 0 of 10. Would not do that job again. Especially wouldn't get bussed down through fences, right? Like, I took buses all over the Middle East when I was there. I went through security checkpoints all over Iraq while I was there. I'm not going to participate here in the States. So if that, not that I'm going to ever be in that position again, but if something like that kicks off again, I'm just going to go find another job. I don't want to be down in that area. Don't want to be put in that position again. And the company I worked for didn't care. So they're like, oh yeah, you still got to show up to work, you know, even if there's people trying to throw trash at you while you're trying to get in the building. Okay. I've worked for a lot of companies that didn't have my best interests at heart, but that was probably one of the most blatant ones. So I think, I don't remember where I read it, but it was one of those places. It's like Olive Garden when you're here, your family, right? But your family sucks and they treat you like shit. One of those kind of jobs. Sounds like a nightmare. It was like, I've been to war, okay? I have been shot at. I have had mortars thrown at me. I have had RPGs sent my way. I have had IEDs go off in the convoy I was in. Like high intensity situations. I've dealt with that, right? In an appropriate setting. Here in the United States, not an appropriate setting. So, and then dealing with it for someone else, right? Like, I'm not gonna do that again. But yeah, it was one of those, you know, it's a small company, less than 200 people. And it's like Olive Garden when you're here, your family, but your family sucks and they treat you like shit. That's a pretty good summation of what it was like working there. So, but I left that job for this job, and which was great because I have tremendously enjoyed this job. Like, I am self-motivated. I go out, I get my work done, I come home, I finish up my charting, I drop my kid off at school, I pick him up, you know, gives me time to grab dinner or make dinner, you know. It's just a really nice schedule. And so whatever comes next, gotta accommodate that a little bit. I can drop down to just dropping my kid off, and then his mom can pick him up, or vice versa. But I don't know. I don't want to be beholden to anyone anymore. I want to be able to. I've been spoiled by my ability to go and pick up and drop off my kid whenever I need to, and to reschedule my patients whenever I need to. So I think we're getting close to having this in. North Coast Armored Jewelry has liked the stream. Thank you, North Coast Armored Jewelry. I think that's Sandra. There's a lot of scale work, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong. It's really difficult to keep track of the number of people I'm friends with who make chainmail and their businesses, but I'm pretty sure that's Sandra. looking to be about the right size. Maybe one more row. Yep. Let's see here. It was so summer 2019 in Kenosha. Had a guy get shot by a cop. Bunch of people poured in the city. The city itself, bunch of people came out of the woodwork in the city itself. Bunch of stuff got burned down that night. The next night is when 3 people were shot, 2 killed during the riot. And then more people showed up. We had this fancy group from Portland, Oregon called Kitchen Riot, whose shtick was to they're supposedly feeding people at a riot, you know, supporting the proletariat or whatever. And they feed everyone no matter which side you're on. Problem is they didn't have any cooking equipment, and they were at the gas station filling up a bunch of gas cans. So, and the gas station that they were found at is right around the corner from my house. Right? So, alright, yeah, that's almost perfect right there. That's a good place to stop. I don't know if you can tell, but this is almost the right size for... It almost matches this triangle right here perfectly. So we'll get started on making the next one. But we're gonna have to do that later. Alright, I am at about an hour and 10 minutes now. And I know that if I push myself much farther, I'm going to regret it tomorrow morning, especially after working with stainless steel. So, some of this stuff cleaned up. Yeah, we had riots in Kenosha, riots in, where was it? Not Waukesha. Oh gosh. It's up by Madison. And then, you know, the guy that ran into the Christmas parade in Wauwatosa. Anyway, it's just, I don't know. It's an interesting state to live in. I'll say that much about it. Alright. Put this stuff away for now. Alright, we can throw these away. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate you being here. All your comments, likes, and shares. You can't post pics to the stream? Probably not. I don't think Facebook allows that. You can post a link to it. But I'm about to be... If it's something you want me to see, you can just message the page or message me. Yeah. Share it, and then I think you can post it to the MailleWerX page if you want other people to see it. And next time, you can probably post a link in the comment section if you want to show it to people in the stream, okay? Feel free to promote your own work here. Because I love promoting other people's work. Alright. So, be sure to check out MailleWerX.com for all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. And I will see you guys tomorrow, sometime around 9 o'clock. Alright, you all have a good night.